Hello everyone, and welcome to the second video of What?
Jump and Shoot.
My name's Gavin, and I'm here with my best friend,
Tyler.
That's Tyler. Yes, and we are Jump and Shooting. Today we're covering the newly announced Phantom Pain as Metal Gear Solid 5. We know it's not exactly recent, but it's the first time we've been able to get together and talk about it and get our thoughts together.
Well, should we roll trailer?
Well, let's give a little background what we watched going into this.
Okay.
Going into it, we watched a video about an interview with Hideo Kojima, who's still the director of these games. And we rewatched the Ground Zeroes trailer, so hopefully we can remember everything we wanted to discuss and give it in a understandable and coherent fashion.
We also went over the IGN trailer, and they gave kind of good pointers about who people think are what people are saying basically about Metal Gear right now.
Yes.
So we'll be contrasting that with our own views as well.
Yes, very good. I totally forgot about them. All right, let's start this bad boy. Konami. All right, starting off here, we see doctors. And right out of the gate, we see Miller and Big Boss, and they are fucked up. They are very worse for wear here. Obviously in a hospital, and we're about to see some worse stuff happen to Big Boss. We see the Fox logo, and as I said in the Ground Zeroes trailer, Snake is back on Fox for some reason. Wonder how that happens after, Portable Ops and Peace Walker, and kind of gave them up. So, interested to see how that works out. Right there, we get the confirmation that Snake, or Big Boss, is in a coma, unfortunately.
Oh, and a 9-year coma ensues.
Yes.
This is obviously the worst day of Big Boss's life.
Yes, and with what Miller just said there, he says, what about him? So, what about him, Tyler?
Well, interesting point. The camera perspective here seems to be from another bed, or whatever you want to call those. Another person. And in Kojima's interview that we watched, he is asked about that, and he says that the third person is himself. Now, that just sounds like something Kojima would say because he doesn't really want to give it away, and he's kind of trying to avoid the question and, just, I guess, be goofy or deep.
Trying to hide more stuff like he's been trying this whole time.
So, as of right now, we're not sure who that third person is.
Could be him. Could be somebody else. And here we see Boss, and he's looking a little worse for wear here. Probably right before Mother Base is destroyed. Still part of Ground Zeroes, I'm suspecting. Here's part of the Ground Zeroes trailer. First shot of the main bad guy, or who we believe is the main bad guy. You see XOF logo. Back to what we believe is Mother Base being destroyed, and everyone's trying to get away. And right there, we get his ugly mug. This is what everyone's been talking about. Who is this guy? I have a theory on that. But everyone wants it to be Volgin for some reason.
Volgin just seems to be everywhere in these trailers.
Yes, we'll address that in a minute as well.
I personally don't believe it's Volgin, and I don't believe Volgin will be in this game at all. But
at least as a real person, a living person,
right? I believe that Volgin is pretty dead.
Yes, I would hope so. He was kind of a douche in the third game. But yes, we'll get into my theory who this character is, but I don't believe it's Vulcan either. His body type and is just totally different. He's a lot more slender than Vulcan was. Just looks quite a bit different. Here we are again, but everyone trying to get away in the helicopter. The XOF logo on the Fox emblem. That dude just got popped. How unfortunate. There we see Mother Base being destroyed. After all the work we did in Peace Walker, it just falls apart.
All those hours of whatever, and what was that thing called that you used to
parachuting people?
Yeah.
Yes, you had to parachute all the people out of there to join your team. Yes, here we get to another part that I wanted to talk about. Of course, we see here Big Boss and whoever the bandage guys, we'll talk about him in a second, are flipping a car over. Apparently, they're not the best drivers right now. But you see a lot of focus on all these pills and stuff. Later on, we see that they're driving an ambulance. But I think that each Metal Gear Solid game deals a lot with certain themes. And I think this one's a lot with, like, mental... I think, I'm, of course, theorizing. I think it might be a lot of mental problems, mental
wear.
Yes, just a lot of things with the mind. And pills are a great way to express that. They have so many side effects. There's a lot that people go through while they're on medications. They have hallucinations. There's just a lot of messed up things that can happen when you're on medications. While a lot of them help us, the side effects can just as easily kill us. So I think that's why there's a lot of focus on these pills flying through the car. Again, I'll talk about this later on when we see a very large creature on fire. There we see Big Boss has lost his arm. Alright. Bandaged guy. Do you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. Well, basically, there are also theories on who this could be, since we can't see his face. There's been rumor and speculation. On the Metal Gear Wikia, this person has been referred to as Ishmael. I feel like I've heard people call him that before, but I don't know where they're getting that name or this information. Others have said that it could be Gray Fox. I would personally love that to be true, even though it would be some kind of miracle that a mutilated Gray Fox would be in the same place at the same time as Snake. But it is said that Frank Yeager has his nose and ears cut off, even though I believe you can sort of see a nose formed under the bandage. So at this point, no idea, but if it was Frank Yeager, I would be very happy.
Yes, unfortunately we don't get to see much of Frank in these in these games, unfortunately. Although he's a very interesting character and a very interesting style. But yes, people keep calling him Ishmael. There's nothing to back that up. Don't know where they got that information. But yes, we believe it could be Frank Yeager. Again, it would be astronomical that they're in the same place, same time when Big Boss awakens, but Hideo Kojima could be pulling some video game logic and just have it happen.
Yeah, and I mean, they could have gotten Ishmael as, they did release it under Moby Dick Studios, so that could have just been a nickname they slapped on the guy, because this was one of the first trailers that they showed. Well, the only trailer they really showed for the Phantom Pain was kind of spliced into this one.
Yeah, could be anything right now. It's all theory, of course. Continuing on, there we see Big Boss fall. He obviously is not able to do very much right now, which would be expected after 9 years of being in a coma. I know he's like a an amazing soldier and a battle-hardened warrior, but I mean, 9 years after a coma, you would not be able to move almost at all. I mean, your muscles would have just been degraded to nothing from not moving at all. So that also leads me to believe that this is a few days after Big Boss wakes up, again, unless they pull some video game logic or some sort of logic behind how he's able to move. And again, in the wiki, they say that that character they named Ishmael gives him a shot of something that allows him to move. Again, I've never seen any evidence of that or where they're getting that, so I don't know. But I just thought it was something that should be addressed. There we see other patients being dragged away to their imminent demise. Alright, there we go. And I missed my cue. Alright. Another person everyone thinks is Colonel Volgin. And this one I'm going to say is Volgin, but is not a human appearance of him. I believe this is an illusion of Volgin, because he seems to wear the exact same outfit. Looking back at a picture, almost everything is the same except from the lighting. His outfit is black, where his was all orange in the Metal Gear Solid 3. There you can see a little bit of the orange around the edges and stuff, but something else that makes me think that it is just an illusion of Volgin is his left arm does not seem to be there. If you look at it, it's mostly see-through while it's wreathed in flame. His right arm seems to be a little bit more solid, but also if you look at his left leg, you can see basically straight through it. It's not a solid object. You can see it sort of on his or on his right leg. It's mostly see-through. On his left leg, you can see it a little bit, but mostly on his right leg, it's hardly even there. So I think this is just a apparition of Volgin. Again, theory, but that is what I believe and what I will call him.
Well, it works for me. He's more Volgin than the first guy, so if anybody's going to be Colonel Volgin, I would say it would be him. Then again, who knows? This could be completely an illusion. They might have been similar to Volgin, not intentionally, but we can't really say anything until the game comes out.
Yes. Good addition there. Going a little bit, and we there. Thanks to the IGN guys, if you look to the right there, you actually see someone being hit by this car or flying off this car that Big Boss was driving. I just think that's quite funny that this poor man is just slaughtered by the wrecking of his vehicle.
The irony of being killed by an ambulance.
There we see the apparition again, or what we believe is an apparition. Getting out of the ambulance. There you can see it was written on there, ambulance. And here we go. Another character everyone has been talking about. We believe, and most people believe, that this is a young Psycho Mantis.
I would say that this could be a young Psycho Mantis, considering it looks like an either teenaged character or something to that effect. We have no idea exactly what Psycho Mantis's hair looked like when he wasn't a crazy older guy.
Or exactly how old he was on those ones, I don't believe, in the first Metal Gear Solid. So we just know he didn't have hair at that point.
But then there's also the possibility that this is a female character.
Does look quite female, especially with the hairstyle.
Right, and last time we actually were going through this trailer, we noticed that, I don't know if you want to bring it forward at all, but you'll see it once we continue. it appears that this character is actually wearing ear jewelry, like an earring,
yes.
and maybe a couple other things. So, I mean, more signs point to it possibly being a girl. I mean, I'm not saying guys can't wear earrings, but,
Yeah.
you know.
It's kind of hard to see, but around the ear, I believe that they're wearing an earring. There's also the strap from the gas mask, which kind of obscures it. But yes, things that point to it being Mantis is that he wears pretty much the exact same gas mask. We never knew what his hair looked like. We don't know exactly how old he is, so he could be... I don't know how... maybe in his 30s or 20s or 30s or so. I think it'd be in his
Possible.
30s.
Yeah.
Just either shaved his head or lost all of his hair at that point. Yeah, this also could be a female. They said in the IGN that this was a male. I don't know how they confirmed that exactly. It could be a younger girl and they haven't really developed, or it could just be flat-chested. Either one is whatever Kojima wants them to be.
Well, and I mean, I believe that even if it isn't Psycho Mantis, it probably is a Psycho Mantis-like being.
Yes.
Because, you know, Kojima likes to bring back themes of characters, even if he doesn't bring their actual character back. For example, the beauty in
Metal Gear
Solid 4. What was it?
remember her
Screaming Mantis or
I think so.
something? I think.
Yeah, I believe it was Screaming Mantis. It's been a while since I played that game.
She was kind of like Mantis himself. So this could be another crazy psychic character as well.
Well, you definitely saw an apparition of a Mantis after you beat her. He showed up. So, yes, this could be another Mantis or Mantis-like character. Could be, again, Mantis himself. Could be someone totally new and just happens to wear something similar as they do in the later games. I wonder what he's holding there. It looks like a belt or something.
And here we've got Revolver Ocelot.
We'll talk about that in a second. And we'll talk about that in a second. But yes, this handsome gentleman here has got to be 100% Revolver Ocelot.
There is not a doubt in my mind. I mean, you've got the cowboy boots, you've got the ascot, you've got the hair.
I don't think it's an ascot. I think it's just a scarf.
Just a scarf. I don't know why I said ascot.
We're not talking about Infinite here.
He's got the stubble. Hair's getting longer. I mean, I just don't see how it wouldn't be.
Yeah, his age range here is perfect for, another 10, 20 years being quite a bit older. I mean, it's just a perfect setup for him. His dress is exactly the same. His outfit is exactly the same as Revolver Ocelot's. You can see he's getting some of his mustache there. He's got the hair exactly the same. And it fit in that he's coming to help his friend Boss.
Yep. I believe that about covers him.
And here's another thing. The giant flaming whale that eats this poor helicopter. This adds to my comment before about the pills having mental or just the mental issues in general. These illusions of the illusion of Vulcan, this flaming whale, we'll see in a second another what we believe is an illusion, at least too fantastical to be, at least in our reality. But these apparitions could be brought on by Boss just having like a mental sort of breakdown right now. I mean, I know he's a super soldier and everything. He's been through war and pain and so much, but I mean, after 9 years, he's in a very, very weakened state. His mind is trying to catch up with the fact that it's been 9 years. He's been asleep. Just right afterwards, being attacked by these people. We don't really know who they are. They could be members of XOF. We don't really know. Could just cause these illusions to appear to him. These fantastical, just apparitions. So, yeah. There's another very interesting scene right here. Boss really doesn't look like himself here. This seems to be in Ground Zero still, since he's wearing a sneaking outfit. We don't have any confirmation of him wearing a sneaking outfit in Phantom Pain yet. It just looks like it would be set beforehand. But Boss is looking very, very compromised right here. He doesn't seem to have his grip, his emotional state. He just seems to be completely void and totally just lost. I mean, it's very odd, a very strange look on Boss.
Right, you never see that on Boss or on Snake in any of the games, so it's almost eerie to see it like this.
Yes, and we see Miller's extremely upset. Not much like him either. He's usually quite composed, but he definitely seems to be more composed than Boss is right now.
So you know something's going down.
Yeah, right there we see him hit the helicopter. And here's another fantastical beast. If I can get the right...
It had to be a flaming unicorn.
Yes. This horse, this flaming unicorn deal. We see the kid, who we believe is Mantis on the back, could be causing this horse to look like a flaming unicorn. Again, it could be just a mental apparition by Boss or something like that. But there's also another character there who seems to be wearing the Octi-camo mask from Metal Gear Solid 4, although that would be utterly impossible since that technology doesn't exist yet. But yeah, that's a new character no one's really talked about, and we don't know if he's a major character or if he's someone we've seen before or anything like that, but
I'm willing to bet that there is at least a handful of new characters in this game. Honestly, a lot of our speculations are, like we said, just kind of ideas of if they are older characters, who they might be. But, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a decent amount of new characters in this.
Yes, we're just talking about if characters are ones from former games. They could be all entirely new characters. We don't know.
Except for Ocelot. He's Ocelot.
Yeah. Back to Mother Base being destroyed. And we see them jumping out of a fire here. And this scene here is definitely gameplay, if I can get the exact moment here. Right there. That's really what makes me think it's a gameplay, because it zooms in right when Snake raises the shotgun.
You've got the over-the-shoulder view.
Yes, like Metal Gear Solid 4 and so on afterwards. It has to be gameplay, and it's just beautiful. I mean, this Fox engine is absolutely amazing that the guys over at the Fox Studio have created, Kojima Studios have created. I mean, it's just amazing. See him take a shot there at the horse, and boom! Lightning! Very interesting little addition here. Makes you wonder, going the wrong way. I can't get back to it. But yes, there was lightning strike, and it just happened to strike the bridge they're on right when they're crossing. The only proof or, evidence that Volgan could ever be in this game, since his ability was lightning or electricity, and there doesn't seem to be a storm anywhere else or rain or anything like that could lead there to be other lightning strikes. It's just it's quite odd why this lightning strike happened to hit right there, right then. And down they go. Here's another scene. I think it's from the Ground Zeroes trailer. I'm not really sure.
This looks to me as if it was from an earlier kind of trailer for Ground Zeroes that maybe had been put together early on during game development, because as Gavin and I kind of gathered, he looks a lot older in this trailer than he does in basically everything else that we see. And especially if this was part of Ground Zeroes, it just really doesn't seem to fit, because this was before even that 9-year coma. So he would have had to have been considerably younger than how he looks here.
Yeah, and even after waking up from the coma, as we just saw, his hair's still brown, he's still quite young. But in the Ground Zeroes trailer, if you remember back, they had Snake looking very old, like he was quite a bit older. It was very strange for what's supposed to be a prequel to The Phantom Pain. So maybe it was, maybe they didn't know where to go with the game yet, and it was just an early design choice. Maybe it was done intentionally just to mess with us. We don't really know. It's very odd that they added it like that, though.
Indeed.
But we believe that this is Ground Zeroes again, because Snake is in his sneaking suit, and we haven't seen any confirmation from Phantom Pain yet that he wears it again. Actually, what was that symbol that he had on his shoulder? Sorry about this, guys. It's his insignia from Mother Base. I thought it might have been the foxhound symbol, which would have been an amazing discovery. And we'll get to that in a second. Right after this, I'll talk about... Now, why is there a British flag there? This is something no one has talked about, but I find extremely odd, because we haven't really seen many games take place in Britain. I think that in Metal Gear Solid 4, when you had to follow that guy around, it took place in Europe, but we haven't really seen very much of it. And from the previous games, I don't think we were there with Big Boss ever. Also, with the game that just preceded this one, Peace Walker, they were off the coast of Mexico, I believe, something like that. And why they're in a British, or why there's a British flag, or they're in a British hospital would be very, very odd. Why they would jump so far from where Mother Base took place. And leading to that would be the fact that Kojima did confirm that Ground Zeroes, and leading on to that, the Phantom Pain, will take place shortly after Peace Walker. We don't know exactly how long. Peace Walker took place in 1974, I believe. So it could be that early, could be a few years after, but still. We're guessing he went into his coma right after Mother Base was destroyed, so that'd still be right there off the coast of Mexico. It's just very odd that there's a British flag there. Wonder if that has anything to do with anything, or if I'm just overanalyzing something.
Well, I mean, I don't see any reason why it would have been put there for no reason. So,
and they do focus for quite a while on it. I mean, Big Boss looks at it for quite a while. Also, there is a map there. You can't really tell what it's of, but it looks like Europe. You can't really tell. And here we see the nurse coming in, checking on somebody else. Doesn't think Big Boss might ever wake up. I think she said, "Can you hear me?" I'm gonna get you a doctor. Here we see his doctor, who we've seen a few times. Oh, one of the biggest talking points we'll have here during this discussion. Now it says, from Fox, parentheses, Fox, or not parentheses, but quotations, quote-unquote Fox, 2 phantoms were born. This leads to 2 different theories. I'll cover mine, and Tyler will cover the other one we came up with when we were first watching the trailer. With mine, it leads back to who the main bad guy is, who's in control of XOF. From Fox, 2 phantoms were born. As long as one of the phantoms is talking about Big Boss, and he would be a phantom because no one really knew where he was. He kind of disappeared. They knew that he was alive out there, but after he left the Patriots, I don't believe they really knew where he was or anything like that. But it leads me to think that the other character who's all burned looking or messed up looking is Gene from Portable Ops. And what leads me to believe that is because he was a member of Fox when they went rogue and took over the Russian base in Portable Ops. They were all members of Fox, and that's why Portable Ops happened, was because they believed Big Boss was still part of it. I never played Portable Ops myself, I just know a little bit about the story, and I did watch the ending, and it seemed like Gene died. I mean, Boss kind of blows his head off and stuff like that in the video, and you see him kind of raspy breathed, and you see him sort of go but it would kind of fit with this announcement. And when the main, Metal Gear in that game, which is a giant nuclear rocket, takes off, Big Boss does say, "I have to leave here before I'm burned alive." So, and the rocket does take off. I'm not sure how Boss got away from that, but if where he was and where Gene supposedly, quote-unquote, died, he was burned, that would lead him to be very disfigured if he somehow survived. So I think that's one theory on this. Again, purely theory. It's just what I thought of after looking over some facts. It would be very interesting and a very, very cool idea, I think.
And that theory is interesting and makes a lot more sense now than pretty much the one that I'm
about to talk about.
Yes. Had a loss for sentence there.
We like yours better, though.
We were first watching this trailer, and when I saw this, I thought immediately of Solid and Liquid Snake, because I literally thought, Born, so Big Boss and Liquid and Solid, because around this time, Big Boss fell into a coma, and Cypher, who is basically the Patriots, went in and got his DNA and made his clones.
The Liaison Funds Project.
Right. Now, it turns out, after doing some research, that Big Boss has been in 2 comas. Almost back to back.
Yes.
What an unlucky bastard. Now, since it doesn't seem that this was the event in which his DNA was taken, or at least that's what we read up on the Metal Gear Wiki.
And we believe them on this point.
Yes. This seems pretty credible. Even though this doesn't seem to be the coma that Cypher interfered with and got his DNA from, I still think it's getting pretty close to the events of the original Metal Gear at this point. And there probably has to be some mention of Solid and Liquid Snake. I mean, they have to be at least, preteens now?
Yeah.
11 years old or
11.
something. And I mean, I think there's probably going to be some mention of them somewhere, because, I mean, this is cutting it so close. I don't even... And Kojima said in an interview that he wanted this to be his last Metal Gear game. I think if it goes all the way up until this point, it'll create a perfect timeline. So there's probably going to be some mention of them at some point, regardless of whether or not this really is the time that they take his DNA.
Yes, reading up, we believe it said that the Les Enfants project took place in 1972, where this is 1974 or sometime shortly after. But yeah, whether or not it's the Les Enfants project, it could take, or they could mention Liquid and Solid from the fact that it would create a perfect time loop, perfect timeline for the games. By the time Big Boss wakes up at the earliest, 9 years, it'd be 1983. That's only, about 10, 12 years, I think, before the original Metal Gear games. And if Kojima, unfortunately, wants to make this his last Metal Gear game, it would be the best to make a perfect timeline for the games to complete a series. I really hope he changes his mind on that. I really want to see what happens after Metal Gear Solid 4, but it's his decision in the end. But those are our two theories. We quite enjoyed them and researching them. Oh, and the song in this trailer is very, very good. I really like it. There we see FOX versus XOF. XOF being led, we believe, by that guy who I think is Gene. Could be totally someone new, could be whoever. We don't know. Yes, XOF. I can't remember if it's confirmed or if it was speculated, but they are the ones who destroy Mother Base and are believed to be led by the Patriots under the codename Cypher at this point to go after Mother Base. They had a Metal Gear there. They're just a mercenary group without a country. They could be just very dangerous to the Patriots. And they were just like, we're not having any more of this. So they tried to take them out. And I think XOF will be the main antagonist through this whole game. Here we get the announcement that it has been 9 years. Another thing, a phantom battle waged by the Vanished. Again, it could be something that leads to my theory that it's Snake and Gene, because they sort of vanished, and Gene definitely would have, believing he was dead. Again, just a theory. Could be solid, could be totally insane, we don't know. It's just what I thought of. It's been 9 years. There we see the Phantom Pain, and Metal Gear Solid 4 fits perfectly into the cutout pieces. And first mention of something totally new as Diamond Dogs, which in the interview with Kojima, he said that this will be the new group that Big Boss creates. Diamond Dogs, referring to them being dogs of war. They have to fight for everything. But diamonds, as in like he said, they have to fight for their money, but they still have pride in what they do. So they are Diamond Dogs. And something very strange. What the fuck is in his head?
It is apparently shrapnel and bone. How it got there, no one knows yet. That should be interesting to find out. And we also see that Snake has his robotic arm at this point. He's no longer toting the hook. So that's good. he's at least got, something to smoke his cigar with.
Yes, Kojima did confirm that his horn is shrapnel and bone, which really begs the question of when the hell did this happen? I mean, he has shrapnel and bone sticking out of his head. I mean, when we just saw him in what we know is the Phantom Pain trailer, he had bandages on, but there didn't seem anything like this to be sticking out under those bandages. There were no lumps like this on his head.
Well, maybe Snake's been playing some Fable, and he's been kicking some villagers and cussing at some kids and I don't know,
breaking
slaughtering
windows.
the innocent, stealing stuff.
Yes. Yes, he's been playing too much Fable. And yes, we also see his robotic arm, which is a lot more advanced than any robotic arm we have nowadays.
Yeah,
I think.
Which is incredible, considering it's not even the 90s at this point.
Yes, it's still the 80s at this point, so why is he so lucky? We got a lot of people who need that technology. And yes, we do see his signature cigar there. And he's riding a motorcycle. I never really saw him ride one before. Maybe he took that from Eva. Maybe she'll show up somewhere in this game. And we get the last point here. V has come to with the Diamond Dogs logo. And the interview with Kojima, he said that V was to refer to victory. They switched from the whatever numbers we use to the Roman numerals because they thought it worked better, and he said that they wanted V to be in here for victory. But the fact that it has V has come to would seem to be referring to Big Boss, like he has come to, he has awakened. So maybe V is a new code name he takes instead of Big Boss or Snake. Don't really know yet. Again, everything that we have said in this entire video is pure speculation, with the only parts that we did confirm are confirmed by Kojima. I think that's been a good discussion.
Yeah. If anybody else has anything to add, please feel free to comment or even send us a message and just talk about it. I mean, it'd be cool to hear what anyone has to say about these rumors and speculations and about all of this cryptic kind of information that's been coming our way about Metal Gear Solid 5. So, that's what the comment box is for. Give us a shout.
Tell us we're geniuses, idiots, brush us up on our Metal Gear Solid lore, anything. We love hearing from you guys. So I think that'll be it for Jump It Shootin'.
Think so. See you next time.
See you guys.